Anthony Blinken set to travel to China this weekend for the first time as Secretary of State.
And despite growing acts of aggression on the Chinese side, their foreign minister telling Blinken it's up to the United States to improve ties.
Unbelievable. We look so pathetic. GOP Senator Dan Sullivan sits on the Senate Armed Services Committee. Senator, I know it is in our best interest to talk to China, but should we be talking under these circumstances a day after they scolded us for our myriad of actions?
Yeah, Brian, good morning.
Good morning.
And it's a great point. By the way, first, I think prayers from all Americans for those American soldiers in Syria. I just learned about that watching. It reminds us just how dangerous serving in the military is all over the world. So let's do that as our country learns about that. So I appreciate that report. But you're making a great point, and your point is important in a couple areas. You know, even adversaries can talk, right? Especially crisis communications. We did that during the Reagan administration, during the Soviet Union. But you shouldn't have to beg for it. And what we've been seeing over the last several months is literally this administration begging for some kind of communication with the Chinese Communist Party officials. And your piece set it up well. You know, the foreign minister yesterday of China already showed what he was going to do, which is berate Blinken on the state of the relationship, which is very rocky, and say it's our fault. Well, it's not our fault. Look at what the Chinese Communist Party has done in the last couple of years. Unleashed this virus on the world, including us and our economy, crushed the people of Hong Kong, which used to be a bastion of liberty, literally economic warfare against our allies like South Korea and Australia, a border war, no kidding, a shooting war with India, and now all these aggressive actions in the South China Sea. The cause of the rocky relationship is China, and the one thing Tony Blinken needs to do is push back on that narrative when he hears it from the Chinese for the world to hear.
Sure.
I'm not convinced he's capable of doing that.
You know, one of the things, Senator, as we switch gears a little bit, one of the things we get from China is a lot of cheap stuff, a lot of appliances as well. I know that the administration would like to get us to use less fossil fuels, and so there's been a suggestion, you know what, let's start with the kitchen. Let's get rid of gas stoves. You're part of a group of senators that's going to make sure that the gas stove in my kitchen lights up for years to come.
Yeah, look, Steve, the federal government should not be telling Americans how to cook their dinner. And literally, they are looking at doing that. The Department of Energy has a proposed rule. Places like New York and Berkeley and California are banning gas stoves, if you can believe it. So my legislation, Save Our Gas Stoves, is something that Schumer should bring up. It's bipartisan. You may have seen in the House 2 days ago, they passed it with a strong bipartisan vote. Schumer needs to bring it up in the Senate. We'll send that to the president's desk. I highly doubt they'll do it, and here's the reason why. You know, this administration has a zealot wing that is anti-American energy, and of course that hurts working families more than anybody, and families in rural states like mine. So, you know, it was a good move in the House, a strong vote to stop this reckless kind of far left policy about banning stoves. We need to bring it up in the Senate. That's what my bill does. I got a lot of co-sponsors, Democrat and Republicans, but we'll see. Don't hold your breath on Schumer doing that.
Well, it just has us all wondering what's next. They keep going after
everything,
something else.
Senator,
everything.
Congratulations. Your team won the baseball game last night.
Yeah, you know, that's always a great event for charity, and I think that's 3 in a row for the Republicans.
Yeah,
so we're pretty excited. Now we just got to make sure that translates
to elections.
Into elections.
Let's see. Get out the bats.
Thank you, Senator.
Balls,
great talking to you.
All right, always great being on the show, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.